Okay, this is part 2 of our chapter summary. For this one, you're definitely going to need pen and paper with you. I don't mind if you're doing this in your book where you have all your notes and examples, or whether you just have this on some scrap paper, but you will definitely need paper, pen, and calculator realistically to be able to go through with these questions. All right, the first one, and the case for all of the questions in this second part. So the first part, we went through all the different definitions, classifying, what is a polygon, the different types of polygons, all that sort of stuff. Now we're into like the real heavy maths side of the topic. We're ultimately going to be finding the missing angle in each case. I've just used some generic pronumeral for each question, really, and your the goal is to try and find the size of that angle. All right, so the first one up here is a triangle. We know two of the angles, the third one's missing. So find the size of alpha. All right, so if you remember how to do this, pause the video, copy down the question, and have a go at answering. Once you've got answer, press play back on the video and see how you went. If you've got no idea how to do this, then obviously you didn't do that and you're just waiting for me to go through it. Let's go through it now. A triangle has a angle sum of 180 degrees, right? The three angles add up to 180. So that means that this angle plus this angle plus this angle, the three angles, if you add them together, will add up to 180 degrees. I'm just going to simplify this here. You end up with 140. So we used our geometry to get an equation. We then used our algebra to simplify the equation. And now we're actually going to use our equation solving to solve. To find the value of alpha, we need to get rid of this plus 140. So we're going to take away 140 degrees, leaving us with 40 degrees. That is the value of our answer of the missing angle. All right, the next one. All right, so again, the same sort of deal, right? Pause the video, have a go. This one's a bit trickier. You're trying to find, actually this one here, you're trying to find the size of each unknown angle. Hey, congratulations. Every single one of those angles is unknown. We need to find the size of each of those three angles. So have a go, pause the video, write up your equation, go ahead, simplify and solve it, and see if you can work out the size of the three angles. All right, let's have a quick look. Again, it's a triangle. That means we have an angle sum. I'm just going to use capital S now. The angle sum is 180 degrees. That means this angle plus this angle plus this angle. Those three angles will add up and equal 180 degrees. We have our equation. Let's simplify it. 2 lots of x plus 1 plus another. We have 4 lots of x in total. Plus 10 is equal to 180. I've used my collecting like terms skill to simplify our equation. And now I'm going to go ahead and solve. I'm going to get rid of that positive 10 by minusing 10. And get rid of this times by 4 by dividing by 4. Which is going to be, what's that, 85, 42.5 degrees. Okay, so we've found the value of x, which is our first angle. So that's 42.5 degrees right there. The next missing angle was 2 lots of x. So in this case, 2 lots of 42.5. You're going to have 85 degrees for that missing angle. And the top one was x plus 10. So 42.5 plus 10. That angle was 52.5 degrees in total. All right, now we're on to a quadrilateral. So we've got ourselves a four-sided shape. One of the angles is missing. We want to find that missing angle. If you need a quick little hint before you go ahead and pause, quadrilaterals have an angle sum of 360. So the 4 angles will add up to not 180, but actually 360. Pause the video, have a go at answering this question, Once you've got an answer, let's keep going. All right, so it's because it's quadrilateral, we know these four angles. That's x, that's clearly a 90-degree there, 70 and 80. So these four angles will all add up and equal 360 degrees. We have one lot of x. So just adding these together, we end up with, what is that, 160 plus another 80. So 240. All right, so we've simplified the equation. Now we're going to go ahead and solve. How do you get rid of a positive 240? Yeah, we're going to take away 240. And you end up with the value of the missing angle. That's pretty nice, that one. All right, let's move on. All right, we've got ourselves another four-sided shape. In other words, another quadrilateral. So our angle sum is going to be 360. Again, have a go at answering. So hopefully everyone was successful in attempting it at the very least. So don't be lazy, right? Make sure you do pause the video and actually have a go at answering this question before you continue. All right, so in this case, there's four angles in total. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle and plus this angle. These four angles, if you add them all together, equals 360 degrees. That's what we've learnt in this geometry topic. We now have an equation which needs to be simplified. That's for sure. That's meant to be a 150, by the way. And now we're just going to go ahead and solve this equation, right? Super useful topic equations. You're going to find this happening in later years. You're going to be using this topic more and more in different other topics. It's very useful. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of this positive 150. So I'm going to take away 150. That gives us 210. And now I've got two lots of x equals 210. In other words, this is a times by 2 to get rid of it. There it is. I need to divide by 2. 105 degrees. And that's the value of our missing angles. All right, the next one, we've got ourselves a pentagon. And again, same deal. We want to find the size of the missing angle. All right, so pause the video if you need to. Have a go at answering this question. We've seen this before. Anyway, hopefully everyone's had a chance to have a go at it. It's a pentagon. What is the angle sum? Right, remember our trick for finding the angle sum for some of these higher ones. Most people remember the triangles and the quadrilaterals. It's 180 and 360. Ultimately, they keep on going up by an extra 180 degrees with every extra angle you add. But we can, instead of having to go through all of them, we add that rule, right? If you want to find the angle sum, here we have 5 sides. So take away 2. So 5 take away 2 is 3. Times by 180, always times it by 180. So always just the number of sides, you take away 2, and then you times that by 180. And that gives you the angle sum, what all of the angles add up to. Now that we know that, and by the way, that actually would be worth a mark in an exam for this particular question. Right, you may not get a mark for knowing the triangle's 180 or the quadrilateral's 360, but from that point onwards, yeah, that angle sum, having that correct number there, will be worth a mark just all on its own. All right, so the 5 angles add up to 540. Let's set up our equation. X plus 150 plus 90. I'm just sort of working clockwise around this one, plus another 90, plus the 140. These 5 angles add up to 540 degrees. All right, we have one lot of x. Adding this up here, no dramas, right? What do we have? We have 290. That'll be 380. 470. Let me just double check this just to make sure. 180, 280, 380, 420, yeah, 470. Sorry, I just added it up a different way just to make sure. I'm telling you guys to use a calculator, but for some reason, I am not listening to myself. All right, so we've simplified the equation. Now let's go ahead and solve it. So to find x, there it is. All we need to do is get rid of the positive 470. So we're going to take away 470. So 540 take away 470. And that's going to give us our missing angle, 70 degrees. So that wasn't too bad, right? It's all done the same sort of way. The only thing that makes it a little bit different is, you need to work out that angle sum first. And then it just works like normal. All right, this one here, we're trying to find the missing angle. We have ourselves a regular hexagon. Because it's regular, we actually have a shortcut, and that's what we'll use here. Yes, you could do it just like the same way we did it here, where all the angles are x, and get your equation. But because all the angles are the same, we've got the shortcut. What is the angle sum? 6 sides, 6 take away 2, times 180. Okay, so we have our angle sum plus our first mark. These 6 angles add up to 720. For us to find x using the shortcut, all the angles are the same. So you just have to split your 720 up, divide it between the 6 angles. 720 divided by 6, I believe you get 120 degrees, and that there is the size of our missing angle. Pretty good. All right, next one. This is the exterior angle. So hopefully you covered that video from last week. I believe there was one lesson was just dedicated to exterior angles of triangles. So if you've done that, you'll know this is like the easiest question in existence. Pause the video, have a go at answering. All right, so what did you do? Well, hopefully you remembered the exterior angle shortcut for the triangle. The exterior angle of a triangle will be equal to the sum of the opposite two internal angles. In other words, this exterior angle is just going to be equal to 60 plus 40. X is 100 degrees. If you have no idea why that is, definitely you need to find that lesson from last week. It covers through why it works, and it gives lots of different examples of questions that use this, right? Make sure you know that trick. It's going to save you a lot of time with these exterior angle questions for triangles. And that brings us on to the last question. It's an exterior angle of a regular polygon, which was the very last lesson from last week. So pause the video, have a go at answering. Hopefully you remember last week. And let's have a go at doing it. So for the exterior angles, we learnt a shortcut again for the regular polygons. The exterior angles will all add up to 360. That means if you have a regular polygon, right, this only works for regular polygons, because with regular polygons, all the exterior angles will be the same. You can find the exterior angle straight away. Because they all add up to 360, you can just do the 360 divided by, in this case, there'd be 8 of them because it's an octagon. And it straight away tells you what the size of that exterior angle is. It's 45 degrees. If you're a person that remembers and really understands this result, you can actually use it as a shortcut to find the size of the interior angles as well. Again, it'll only work for the regular ones, but I believe we did a question back here. You actually could have done this question by finding the exterior angle and then minusing that from 180. But again, I'm not sure if that's going to confuse you. The method we used here was easy enough, to be honest, and pretty straightforward. So maybe just stick with that. But just be aware, this exterior angle does also give you another way of finding those interior angles. All right, and that's going to leave it with us. So make sure you understand these videos. If there's any questions that you didn't understand, I'll recommend, and you've watched that, the solution to it a couple times, it's still not making sense. Go back, find the actual original lesson where we covered that in more detail. Make sure you get really good at it. And, once you're feeling comfortable and confident, have a go at our topic tests for this week and for the topic. All right, thanks heaps. Best of luck, guys. See you next time.